Hello Tumblr and YouTube, welcome back to my messy room. Today I'm reviewing this book, There's Cake in My Future by Kim Gruenenfelder. You should say that name aloud, it feels funny. Gruenenfeld. Anyway, you'll like this book if you like Kim Gruenenfelder's other books, Total Waste of Makeup and Misery Loves Cabernet, both of which I read and reviewed on my Tumblr blog when I was still writing out reviews instead of being lazy and filming them instead. And also you'll enjoy this book if you enjoyed anything by Jen Lancaster, or if you liked Julie and Julia by Julie Powell, but with emphasis on the Julie part. Alright, that said, this is it's a chick flick of a book, I would like to say that right now. It's kind of like, you know, when you had a really crappy day and all you want is a carton of Ben & Jerry's and to watch 27 Dresses for the 50 millionth time? It's that kind of book. This book centers around three friends, Nicole, Seema, and Melissa, and as the book starts off, we're getting ready for Nicole's wedding, and that her bridal shower, I think, or something, and they're getting ready to do a cake pull. I had never heard of a cake pull before this book, but apparently there's something you do where you bake a cake and then you stick these little silver charms in, like on the cover of the book, these silver charms, and you stick it into the cake and then you frost over it so that it looks all pretty, and they're all attached to ribbons, and before you cut the cake, all of the girls gather around and each grab a ribbon and they pull their charm, and that charm is like, it's like a fortune cookie, and it's supposed to tell like the next big thing in their future. So Nicole, who is she's a little bit strange, but so am I, so it's okay. She apparently, every time she's done this at a bridal shower before, all of the charms came true. So she was like, we're going to do this at my wedding, we're going to do it right. And by we're going to do it right, I mean she rigs it. And so she looks at all of her friends who are going to be there, and she listens to all of their complaints about their life, and then picks out the perfect silver charm for them and puts that in the place where she knows that she's going to be seating them, so that everybody pulls the charm that they want, including herself. But, as these things often go, everything goes wrong, and the rigging is off, and everybody pulls the wrong charm, and that's how the story starts. I need to stop holding the book when I'm filming these, because I'm always, like, fidgeting and everything. I'm going to start, like, juggling books or something. I actually wasn't going to review this book because I didn't really have anything to say about it while I was reading it, but then I was talking to my mom about it, and she's genius, and she said to me this golden phrase that had all of my gears in my brain turning. She said, they all think they know what they want. And that's it exactly. They're trying to take control of their futures in, you know, this little way with this cake pull, and they pick out their bright, shiny futures, they pick out what they want, and then when everything goes wrong, they're freaking out because they think this isn't what I want, this isn't how things are supposed to go. But in the end, they do end up where they need to be. Not where they thought they wanted to be, but where they need to be after all. I did enjoy this book. I can't really relate to it very well because I'm 17 and have hardly kissed a boy, and I'm not 30 and wondering why I'm still not married. And so in that sense, it was a little bit distant from me as the stories go, but I still enjoyed it in the same way that I still watch chick flicks. Because it's a charming and heartwarming story, really. And the writing itself is really comical, it's really witty, and even when, you know, they're sitting there and it's the third chapter of them just kind of complaining about their life, usually that really bothers me, but they do it in this really, I don't know what I'm trying to say. They do it in a funny way, like they're not really taking themselves seriously, and it's easy to appreciate as a reader because, you know, you're sitting there and their lives are kind of falling apart and you're laughing about it with them. And that's kind of, you know, I wish I was more able to do that when things are falling apart, just still be, you know, this cynically hysterical person and be like, you know what, everything sucks, but I can still make a joke. And even as they're really going through all these things that I can't really understand, per se, there is an underlying theme which I do relate to, which is that this is a story about three really close girlfriends. And for me, I don't know if that applies to everybody, but for me that's really real because my two older sisters and I have kind of the same dynamic. And even if you don't really understand that firsthand, it's still kind of nice to see the dynamic between the three main characters and their bond, and how even when things are really nasty and finally one of them just looks at the one and says, okay, you need to stop being stupid right now, they're still really close, because that's something that's real for me. So all in all, it's light, it's funny, and it's an easy, fun book to read. And it really reads like a guilty pleasure book, but it's actually chock full of all sorts of lessons that, we all need to learn, even if we're in different stages of life, from the three main characters. Happy reading! I just finished 2 books while I was sitting on the couch in an anesthetic fog, and that was The Help and Instructions for a Broken Heart, so you get to look forward to those. This is where I would be holding them up to show you, but they're both at the other end of the house, and I'm just too lazy for that, so oh well. Another side note, I just got Just Don't Fall by Josh Sundquist in the mail, and I'm very excited about this, and so everything on my to-read list is going to be postponed for this, except for the book that I'm currently reading, which I'm probably not going to review, so I'm not going to tell you about that because it's like dangling a carrot in front of your face. I'm rambling. I'm really excited about this book.